Wait, last class we completed the flex layout, right? Today we'll go for the grid layout. I think this is the last class for the CSS. Yeah. Yeah, last class we done the flex layout. Today class will go for the grid layout. The flex layout you discussed about what card display, right? Where items are displayed. Today we'll go for the grid layout. Grid is like the web page is divided into different part. Header part is there, footer part is there. The previous class we talked about the page is divided into how many parts totally? Five parts. For the five parts, tell me. The page is divided into five parts. So if you take this is completely web page, the web page is divided into how many parts total? Five parts. This is called header part, and this is called what? Footer part. Header, footer, and this is called what? Left hand side part is there. This is called what? Right hand side is there. This is called what? Main part actually. Good. So today we'll make the web pages like this. Header is separate, footer is separate, left hand side is separate, right hand side is separate, and the main part is separate. So you need to implement the grid system like that. This is a grid system. So card means what? Flex is displaying the cards like one by one card. One row filled with the data. The data comes for what? Second row, right? One row is filled with the data. The data comes for what? Second row. I think last class we done with the for the yeah first dot HTML here. The last class we done the flex layout is like displaying just cards like this, right? We implement the card layout like this. One row is filled with the cards, then control goes to what? Second card here. This is like transition and transform you done. This is called what? Power effect, right? Transition and transform. So once if you increase the size, second row three cards are coming, next row four cards are coming. Like that. Number of size increased, the cards are going for the alignment. Okay, this is like flex layout. Today class is grid layout. Coming to grid layout here, that page is divided into how many parts total here? Five parts. Today we'll implement this page concept like that. That is basically like grid system. What system here? Grid system, right? Go for the grid system now. So guys, let me go for like enter button here. Again, go take what body here, and inside the body you write the piece of code. So grid system contains like in the web page contains how many parts here? Five parts. Header, footer, right hand side, left hand side, right hand side, left hand side, and what the main bar. So you guys today display the the grid container. You want to display the data like grid container, grid container, grid container, grid container. Good. So you guys you can take the main div tag here. First, let me align the HTML code first properly. So you take the main div tag for the main part purpose. Go for the header part. So you guys now if you take the header part, this is called header part here. We have the semantic element is header is a semantic element, right? The header contains like my portfolio website and web developer and designer and creator something like that. So you guys right click and open it live server. You can check the output here. We got the my portfolio, web developer, designer, and what the creator. That is like I decided like main part. So the main part like header part keep aside. The div contains a header part. After header part like let me take the main part. So you guys there's like main part if you take the main part and this is called main class you can take. What a class no main part. Main part contains like welcome to portfolio. This is my simple layout using the CSS grid. Check out work below. And we have the main tag contains what? The session tag. So in HTML discuss about the main tag and what? Session tag. Session tag contains what? Articles also, right? Good. So again, there is a session tag contains the project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4. Yes, you right click and just you can check the output once. Yeah, we got them. Welcome to my portfolio. This is a simple website, project 1, project 2. Hey, see, do one thing. Before that, let me show you the complete code what we are going to build now. Let me see with the process once. Okay, paste it down. And you can check the portfolio website. Yeah, this is the layout we should implement now. So guys, one is what the header part. This is what the left hand side. This is called main part. This is called what the footer part. So you are going to decide the pace like this. Header part, footer part, left hand side, main bar. I think right hand side is not there. I will implement that also. That is the page you are going to implement, guys. That's what you're taking the header part is there. Without CSS, the code seems like this. This is called what? Header part, and this is called what? Main part. Mm. Header part, main. Main contains what among sessions. Main contains the sessions. Okay, fine. The main is done. After the main, you can write the right aside. What part is the aside part? Aside part is like contact me. Feel free to reach us. And last one is you can take the footer part. Footer part is the copyright information. That's it. See that is called footer part. The footer part contains the copyright information. There is a data. You see the page here. This is called the header part. This is called the main part. This is called sorry. This is called main part. Contact me. Feel free to reach us. That is called what? Aside part. Copyright information is what the footer part. This is the basic HTML without any CSS part, right? Good. Let me go for the grid container now. I need to enable the grid. To enable the grid, guys, go for the main div. This is a main div. Main div. Main div, let me write the styles. So write the style tag. Under the style tag, you write the information tell me guys, this is called main div. Under the main div, we can take the container implementation. Okay, grid container, something like that. The class name we implemented grid container. That's what you can write the dot. Class name is what a grid container. Then here you can write the the class apply. Class is what grid container, right? Grid container is a class. Here first see this is the main div. That main div contains what header, footer, main, aside, everything is there in the main div. Everything is there in what? Main div, right? Yeah. If everything is there in the main div, class is the grid container we have. And we have the header part, footer part, main part, aside part, everything is there in the main div. We are applying the style for the main div. That's a grid container. See guys, you display the data like grid format. So previously display the grid, display which format? Flex. Now today go for what? Grid format. Display like grid format. What format am I? Grid. See display like grid means you'll get the grid features. Grid implementation features you will get the support. Once if you get the grid implementation feature support this, you please specify the grid areas. What areas am I? Grid area. A grid is basically rows and columns format. Grid is implemented using what format? Rows and columns format. See if it's a grid is implemented rows and columns format means grid template columns we have to specify. Grid template rows we have to specify. Grid template what? Columns. Grid template what? Rows. Okay, fine. Grid template columns is specified. Grid template what rows we have to specify that later like that. Grid template what columns. See, as of now, let me implement it let me implement it. You do one thing, come to the file. You want to see the original content so that we can apply the what the styles you need. But let me take this one is post.html file. Right click, open with live server. Now you see this data once. In this data, total how many rows are there we expecting? In rows consist total how many rows are there? Header is one row, portfolio website. Footer is one row, two rows. I think this contact me left hand side and this is called main content. Left hand side and main content you can make it as one row. Total how many rows? Three rows. Row one is the heading part. Row 2 is the main part. Row 3 is the footer part. For how many rows we have? Three rows. How many columns you are expecting here? This is the first row. This is the second row. This is called third row. How many rows? Three rows. How many columns are there? How many columns? I think this is the header part. Header contains any columns or no columns. I think entire occupied like one column format. But second row you can see this one is the left side is there. This is the left hand side. That is called what the main part. It means the second row divided into how many columns? Two columns. Second row divided into how many columns? Two columns. A total how many rows are there total here? Three rows. First row, second row contains how many columns? Two columns. It means mainly how many columns? Two columns we have. Many columns? Two columns. How many rows? Three rows and two columns are required. But header is occupying two columns or two columns are merged. See, second row contains the two columns. One is the left side and see guys, once you have to know the what we should implement. So real time, like almost all 6-7 hours we will talk about architecture. What we should implement. Once we have the clarity about what we should implement, coding will come in the 2 hours. That's all. Coding doesn't take much time. Discount calculations, formula, what is a PF calculations, tax calculations. If you know calculations, the code will come how many seconds? Tell me. The code will come like in almost 5 minutes actually. Means what? The code will come like 2 minutes. Like once if you know the concept, you don't know concept means code will not come. Code which will take like hours and hours. That's what you first. What first? Check the how many rows are there in the layout. What layout you are going to implement? How many rows? 3 rows. Second row contains how many columns? 2 columns. But first row is occupied like entirely is what? 1 column, right? And third, fourth row is occupying what? Entirely 1. Generally, every row should have the 2 columns. But first row, 2 columns are merged. Excel sheet, you are merging the columns, right? You are merging the columns, make it as 1 column. I think header is merged. Footer is also what? Merged. But main is what? How many columns are there? 2 columns, right? Exactly. Guys, like that you see the data once. Because after that you see the container here. That's what, how many columns we have to specify? Tell me total. How many columns? How many columns you have to specify? Ma? How many columns? Grid columns are 2 columns. See guys, this is called like occupying, like this is the first column, that is second column. First column occupying the small space. Second column is occupying what? Big space. That's what you can go for the first column 1 FR. FR means frame side here. Generally can take the, we can go for the grid layout. Yeah, there is a test that is to be good. Guys, this is the grid template columns. How many columns? First column occupy the 1 frame. Second column occupied what? 3 frames. It means total 4 parts assume. First part is 1 FR. Remaining how many FRs? 3 FRs. Then how many columns is specified? 2 columns. How many rows you have to specify? 3 rows, right? Then you can go for the grid template rows. Grid template rows, like 3 rows we have to specify. 3 rows means like you can take the grid template rows, and here I specified what? Auto, and this is called what? Auto, and 1 FR, and this is called what? Auto. Then you do one thing. This is called, you can make it as 1 FR. This is also 1 FR. This is called also 1 FR. I think this is 1 FR means you can please make this is what? 2 FR is better, right? How many FRs? Yeah, 2 FR. Just you can check the output once. Now you can go for the document. Now you see guys, the data coming like this. The data is what? Coming. This is called header part and this is called what? Footer part. Anyhow, yes, after specifying the rows and columns, yeah, the data is coming like that. If you remove these 3 lines, what? Generally the data is like that, right? Header part, main part, aside part, footer part. Let me make the grid. Enable the grid is what? Display grid. How many rows? How many columns? 2 columns. How many rows? 3 rows. Good. Guys, after that we need to specify the how many rows is specified here? 3 rows. How many columns? 2 columns. Then first row occupied how many columns? First row. 2 columns occupied. First row occupied 2 columns means then you can go for the grid template areas. Grid template areas. Coming to grid template areas, guys, now you see that area is what? I written the header 2 times. Why header class I written the 2 times? These are basically class names simply. Header and header represent how many times? 2 times. Nothing but your header is occupied, like how many columns should be occupied? 2 columns. That's what header occupied how many columns? 2 columns, right? Second one you can see guys, sidebar, left sidebar, something like that. This is called main content. It means how many columns? Two different columns. But header is occupied what? Same column. Header is merged with what? Two columns, right? Good. Even footer also how many columns? Two columns. Footer also how many columns? Two columns. Right? Exactly. Guys, come to the file here. Just you can see the output. There is no data here like this. So we need to specify these three properties, guys. That is enough. How many rows you want? How many columns you want? What we are going to merge. This is representing the merge option. What it is merging, header is merged to the two columns, footer is merged to the two columns, but sidebar is one column, main content is one column. So sidebar is what? One column, main content is what? Another column. So you got it? This is activating the grid. This is representing how many columns you want. This is representing how many rows you want. This is representing the how to merge it. How to merge. That's it, guys. Once if you know the merge properties like that, then you're trying to apply the styles. Coming to styles property, guys. First style is like now up to now we are applied for the style for the header, main content, footer, side, main div. Up to now we are applying the style for the main div. Main div is what? Grid container we apply. Then you go for the individual styles. What the individual styles? First header styles. Next one is what? Main styles. Next one is what? Side styles, footer styles. Now grid is ready. Then you can go for the header content. Header content, let me apply some styles. This is called what content? Header content. Write the class is like header content. Header content is there. Open and close this. Now see guys, header content, you write the color for the header content, font color or something like I can go for the aquamarine, and you can write the background color something like um, gray color, something like that. Implement the implementation like that. But this should be, this is called header, right? Where we should display this header? What is the area? What is the grid area? But this is a header style. Where this style is applied? Under the what area? Grid area. Header, right? That's what this here is. Please represent the grid area. Grid area. What is grid area here? Header part. It means this header content should be there in the grid area. That area name is what? Header area. What area? Header area, right? Exactly. So now header part is ready. Now you please cross check once. Go to the file. Now you see the header part. Now I think this is the first row, right? First row occupied entire data, right? Occupied, not occupied, occupied. Just we represent like that. I think the text should come in like center format. Then you do one thing. Color is like you can make it as a green color. You can make the background color is what? Beat something like that. And you can make the text text align is what? Center. And like that. You see the data here. Now header is coming. We cut it up. I think all are occupied. This is called portfolio website. Hey, you please apply the styles and the footer now. Footer, header, footer, let me apply. Footer means what? Take the class like for the footer styles. This is called what? Observe carefully. Footer content we applied. Dot footer content. So yes, let me go for the color for the property like color is what? Something like a red. You write the background color. Background color is aquamarine, something like that. Then you can go for what? Text align is what? Center. And the text decoration is what? Underline or dash or something like that. Underline or overline. Just you can write underline. Okay, this is called footer content. This footer content should be displayed on what area? Grid area. What is the grid area here? Footer is a grid area. Footer is a grid area means what? Then you can go for the footer content. You specify what grid area that should be displayed, right? Grid area is what? Footer. Grid area is what? Footer, right? That's it. Grid area is a footer. Then you can go for the style like it's called footer is coming. Header is coming on what? Footer is coming. I think if you want a font weight, if you want, you can write the font weight 700 here, and the font style, font family. If you want, you can change font family. You see, guys, the footer is coming like that. And if you want, you can increase the font size also. Just you can write the font size 100 pixels, something like that. I think 100 pixel means what? Going too much. Go for the 50 pixel. Yeah, that is called your what part? Footer part. That's it. Address coming as what? Two rows are occupied. Footer also coming as what? Two rows are occupied. Sorry, one row with how many columns are occupied? Two columns are occupied, right? Yeah. Now you please tell me for the sidebar and main content code styles happen. Sorry. Style for the main content style you can apply first. Tell me main content. Header, fortress, dot. Next one is what? Dot main content. Main content you apply some styles. So text align is what? Center. I don't want to write the text color and all. Just let me write the background color. Background color is like light colors you need to apply, guys. Blurry wood or something like that. Google wood something. Fine. Tell me, guys, what you need to write. This is the main content. Main content. What is the grid area? What is grid area? This is the main content grid area, right? That's what guys here. Main content. Just you can write the grid area. So go for the. Tell me, guys, grid area. What the grid area here? Main content. Main content data. Something like that you can apply. No problem. This is called main content hyphen data. That's all. Hey, now you can check the output, guys. There's a main content is coming. We coming or not main content? That's it. Last one is what main content data is coming. A sidebar is there. Sidebar content. This is the sidebar content. Guys, let me write the class for that. For the class here, for the styles class bar content. First, you specify the grid area where we have to display this data here. Sidebar. That's what you can go for. What content is. What we can say. Yeah, grid area first you specify. Tell me, grid area is what? Grid area is the sidebar. Yes, grid area sidebar is there fine. You please make the sidebar is like R sidebar something like that. Grid area is the R sidebar. Just let me make it as a R sidebar. Just you have to make the text align. Text align is what center, and you can write the color for the data like Tell me guys, color is what green something like that. Enough. I check the output guys. That's output. We're coming that is divided how many parts total? There is a grid area. I think part to part there is no gap, right? Let me give some gap between the part to part. That's what guys go for the main grid content here. Main grid area grid content is there, right? Here you specify the gap between the gap between what? Gap, right? 10 pixels you can specify. Now you see somewhere some gap is coming between this data, right? I think left sidebar or right sidebar also. This is right sidebar or left sidebar? Left sidebar, right? Okay, fine. Left sidebar and grid area is what? Left sidebar. Left sidebar also you can apply some background color. Background color is like aqua something like that. Now see guys. Yeah. Now I think you are getting some gap between the data, right? That is called what? Gap property. A property, gap property. Hey, radius property. What is a border radius? Border radius. Border radius is a 10 pixel. Now you see that border radius. It's coming as something like border radius 40. Now you see that border radius coming as rounded rectangle. That like whatever the data you want to apply border radius for the main content also you can apply the border radius. Now see the border radius come. And styles that is up to you. Styles you ask the ChatGPT. ChatGPT will give the more than our content, right? See, you implement the style, what the style you want. Then you ask the ChatGPT that I want to clear more styles for that CSS. So yes, we should know where we should modify. It's not like line by line of code we never write in the real time. So ask like I need more perfect style. Perfect what styles looking good. Something like that you can ask. Then he will give the property like you see that point where your layout is what? Your layout is already correct structure. So you are using CSS grid properly. See, we are doing the proper work, but styles what? We need to apply. What do you want now is visual polish. Okay, exactly. I need visual polish. You can copy the visual polish and you can go for the data. Just you can paste it down what he given. You please scratch it. Now see, he'll give the code like this. We cut it on. That's it, guys. That is information. So that is called grid system. What system? Grid system. Why this is our style. Fine. This is what our style. Got it? I think only left side is coming. Now you please tell me the right side also I want to get. So this is like left side. If you open our website is what? Portfolio like Portpulse-R. This is our CSS work we are working, right? See, this is called left sidebar. This is called menu bar. What left sidebar and what? This is the main content. Right sidebar is there. Right sidebar you will get like ads you will get general. What you will get ads. I think it is taking time to load. Yeah, it's loaded now. You see, this is what right sidebar. Right sidebar, what we are ads where ads petition. Left sidebar, this is left sidebar. This is right sidebar. This is called main bar, and this is called what main content, right? Yeah. Left sidebar, right sidebar. This is called what main area. This is called what menu bar, right? అక్కడగా we got it, left side bar, right side bar. You please implement the right side bar now. How to implement right side bar? I want right side bar. What I should do? You got my question now? As of now, we implemented like this, right? We implemented like this. I want this right side bar also. What I should do? Now, if I want to apply the right side bar, then how many columns you want? ఓయ్ తలకాయలు ఊపితే పళ్ళు కావు ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ కావాలా how many columns 3 columns rows are 3 rows only but second one occupied what 3 columns then what we should do previously columns are what 2 columns 1 fr second one is occupied 3 fr then how many columns 3 columns you want again last column is 1 fr specified next one then you please go for the data like this is called aside aside is there sidebar content and you please write the one more sidebar content this is called what left sidebar content here this is called what right sidebar content here so this is like just you can write the answer feel free to reach us something like that see guys previously written the left sidebar content this is called what L sidebar I can make it L sidebar right what sidebar L sidebar that is there. Now see guys, L sidebar you written. Now I am going to write the right sidebar. Then you write the same class for the right sidebar also. Then tell me this is L sidebar class here. Then right sidebar you have to write in the class. Go for the grid area like this is called L sidebar. Main content. Third one is what? Right sidebar. What sidebar? Right sidebar. Now this header should occupy 1 column or 3 columns. Header should occupy 1 column or 3 columns? 3 columns. That's what we should do here. Header, and what? Header. And footer, footer and what? Footer. Why? Because header should occupy now how many columns? 3 columns. That's what header 3 times, footer 3 times. Header 3 times and what? Footer 3 times. Also you guys, you apply like that. See if you didn't represent the footer 3 times means then what happened guys? If you see this one here, the data completely gone. Mismatches stage is coming, right? That's what they should occupy what 3 times. Got it? That's it, guys. This is called what main content. This is called what left sidebar. Like that, implement what right sidebar. Right sidebar. What is a grid area? R sidebar. What sidebar? That's all. We got the grid area like that. We got it. That is like grid system routing. Hey, you would please tell me now last point here. First header is occupied how many columns? 3 columns occupied. What is my question is up to this one, up to this part, 2 columns you can occupy.